We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. On 1st and 10, Hunt. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touch.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. And this a 39-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fields it right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Not the way they wanted to begin things yet. The interception on the first play of the game. The good news, looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Sanders is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Sanders again. And he's not going too far. In fact, stopped dead in his tracks at the 3. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Hurts. Buying time to his left. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. In their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Back to throw. Hunt. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
The lessons will continue. This rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. They get 16 out of that, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get away with that. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. This passing game's offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's got a man, complete. 30, 10, 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. $10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Looking to throw on second down. Hunt. The throw out to Ross. He's got it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. To throw on second down. Hunt. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 36. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. The Eagles now at 2-5 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
49 yards rushing for him now to this point. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Hurts. This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Elliott now to have the extra point. Just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Hunt. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. On second down, it's Walker. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. That second down play, that's a -4. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
To throw on third down, Hunt, and that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defensive player has some confidence. They haven't let a point yet flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts rolling to his right. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hunt. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Montez Nicholson picks it.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken, because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying again another day.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Hunt. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
It's a nice design there, but sometimes though, you get so many blockers out of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that.
And my goodness, another interception.
It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
taken from about the 12. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Off play action. Hunt. He lets it fly from Lockett. And got his man complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 79 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, don't fumble the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. And I was told him, you keep throwing the football with confidence. We're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
On 4th down, Hunt. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they can...
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Off the play fake. Hunt. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we play 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it, and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over in the sidelines all the time.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 74 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Hunt. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Throwing on 1st down. Hunt.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Looking to throw. Hunt. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Throwing on 3rd and long. Hunt. He hits his target, Lockett. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that zero.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hunt. And now here's another interception.
And the Eagles are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push him downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. They'll go again with Sanders. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Flush to his right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Returnable for Lockett. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
19.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me their fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hunt. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now it looks like he'll throw here. This is Smith with the ground. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Elliott now to add the extra point. These have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Eagles,
they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now.
Yeah.